Hey, Sooner football fans. This is your Sooner football fan podcast. You got Terry, Rob, and Caleb here. Boomer Rob.
Boomer Terry.
Boomer Caleb.
Boomer.
And we're coming at you from the beautiful Podcast Palace in Norman, Oklahoma.
Where we are not affiliated with the University of Oklahoma.
But we do have eligibility left. And we need to remind everybody to go to tailgateconnect.com, www.tailgateconnect.com for Dan Donnelly's company that you can go anywhere in the country and tailgate pretty much with anybody if you're going to be out and about.
That's right. They need to be thinking about next year's Army game because, you know, all the people that wanted to get into this year's UCLA game.
Yep. He
got left out. So.
Yeah. He opened it up to more people and filled it up, but next year is going to be maybe bigger,
Army
better.
Tailgate's going to be awesome.
Yep.
Looking forward to it already.
Yep. And check out our videos on YouTube and subscribe on YouTube. Thursday night at Louis. We were in California 2 weeks ago at Louis, and this week, Caleb and I were working to get ready for our trip down to Texoma and to Dallas to see the Great Iron Maiden.
I was available. I'm just saying. Y'all kind of left me, high and dry on that deal. But.
So we will resume Louis this Thursday. And also, we want to announce that, we're going to have him on the podcast here in about 20, 30 minutes. But we have a new sponsor / partner, teambarfinder.com. And he's going to come on and explain, Dave Lamb is going to explain what Team Barfinder is, how to use it, and
so
what it's for.
I think we covered this already, but it's not like two guys walk into a bar and the third guy laughs.
There's probably some joke there. We're not sure. So, everybody just sit on the edge of your seats here for a little bit, but we'll have the creator of TeamBarfinder.com on with us shortly. So he is on his way home right now from the Chargers Texans game. So
he's LA.
Yeah, he's
all right.
So that's why we know it's Monday. Everybody's listening to it as a Monday, but it's kind of later on Tuesday night, and we have the Browns-Rams game on. Rob, do you want to give a first half?
I'm just saying the Stripes are really calling some bogus stuff tonight. I'm just saying they're a little bit flag happy is all.
But as everybody knows, the Sooners are on off week. So what do we want to start? We play Texas Tech at 11 a.m. Which that reminds me, tailgate like a champion. We will probably be up and running on Saturday by 7 or 8 o'clock.
Oh, my.
So it'll be a short tailgate. However, we always, and let fans know as well, is that after the game, we can't get out because they have the roads blocked for the tailgaters. So we're around for a couple hours afterwards until the roads open up. So if you don't want to fight traffic, you can come down, sit down with us, and watch games because we'll be sitting there watching some football games after the tailgate. But we'll let Caleb choose since Caleb has blessed us. This is 5 podcasts in a row that Caleb's been on.
Football's on now. It's a lot easier.
So, what do you want to talk about first?
Well, the problem is that none of us watched any football yesterday, so it's kind of hard to say what happened when we're
now. We watched 20 minutes of football,
maybe
that,
eating dinner.
Yeah. So I don't know, Rob, what you were doing, but Caleb and I on Saturday were at Lake Texoma for the day, and then at night we drove down for the Iron Maiden concert Saturday night. So we saw maybe 20 minutes of the Texas-Oklahoma State game.
Yeah, first.
So what were you doing over the weekend that you didn't watch football?
I went down to Fletcher and visited a friend that flew in from high school and spent some time down there. But I did get to watch some football, just not as much as I'd like to have watched.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Caleb, I'm surprised you didn't bring up the fact that, the one thing that stood out while we were watching that first quarter was Oklahoma State's helmets.
They're weird. They're weird. I don't know what they're even orange. Like they're brighter orange than the Browns helmets are.
Yeah. Were they? But they were kind of almost red, weren't they?
Something like that. They're weird looking. Like their whole
Like
uniforms
a
are weird.
Candy apple orange.
So,
Yeah.
but the Sooners, I guess. Let's jump on and let's talk about the top 25. We dropped to number 6. We keep dropping.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, But we got Clemson, Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Ohio State, and Oklahoma in the AP. And the people who know what they're talking about, coaches, have Oklahoma at number 4. We haven't moved. So,
yeah, they're sure trying to put them SEC teams up in there, aren't they?
I was talking to Mike with the band Fever Tree. They were playing at the lake party that we went to, all the way from Tennessee to Oklahoma. They came into that, but he said, SEC, Tennessee. He said that's all everybody talks about, and everybody in the SEC thinks all SEC teams are the greatest. That it's the greatest conference.
Florida's terrible, and they're almost in the top 10, or are they? No, they're not in the top 10.
Top
yet.
10. I think they are.
I mean, they're terrible.
They are. They're 9. And
they're number 9.
Yeah,
they're on the 3rd string quarterback, and I'm just telling you, they are not very good.
Yeah. Notre Dame dropped from this. What was the score of that Notre Dame game?
They lost by 6.
Okay, they dropped down 3 spots to number 10.
Yeah, they're definitely still in striking distance.
Yeah, Texas moved up 1. Penn State moved up 1. Iowa moved up 4. But let's see. USC wasn't ranked. USC is now ranked in the AP poll. And, of course, here, no, there's no SEC bias in anything. Texas A&M has 2 losses, and they're still in the top 25.
Right.
They got smoked
terrible.
by Auburn this weekend.
Yeah, they're not very good. A&M is not very good. Neither is Florida. And, if Auburn didn't have a really good line, they wouldn't be all that good.
Yeah.
So
Auburn impressed me. I thought they were going to lose that game. But fresh on the road, it's first for a true road game at Cal Field, and they won pretty handily. So,
I mean, they're okay, but they're not as good as everybody's saying they are.
I think the best team in the country right now is Ohio State. Ohio State's really freaking good.
They put up 76 points just pretty quick, didn't they?
Justice
But
Field
that
had
first quarter,
5 touchdowns.
That first quarter, it was tight. So we'll see. You got to play somebody. I mean, and we haven't played anybody either. So I'm not putting us out there on no island. But you got to play somebody. And Ohio State hasn't. Alabama hasn't. Oklahoma hasn't. Nobody's really played anybody yet except for
Georgia.
I think, Georgia's pretty legit, I think. And you know what? I think Texas and Oklahoma State are both decent.
Yeah, they're a good team. I mean,
they're pretty good.
Kansas State jumped into the top 25.
Which I thought they should have been there last week, I thought.
Yeah. So, but, the way too early rankings, it's, Wisconsin jumped up 5 spots.
Wisconsin's really good, too, I think.
They put a butt kicking on
Michigan.
Michigan. So.
What about that running back? He's got a real shot at
Jonathan Taylor
being the number 1 Heisman guy.
He's really good. I mean, he does everything. He's their whole offense, and their offense is really good this year.
He's quick. So if they can go undefeated, he's got a real shot.
He has a real shot. I mean, they could have like a Heisman show off with him versus Fields the last game.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Jalen's going to keep putting up numbers.
We hope he does.
I mean, he should still keep putting up numbers. He's going to be there. And Tua, he's been out of his mind too this year too. So
you know what? There's a whole lot of quarterbacks playing at a really high level right now.
Yeah,
yeah.
But no,
even Ellinger is playing crazy
it's
good.
It's not Ellinger, it's Eleanor.
It's Ellinger.
We do not pronounce the G here, Caleb. You know that.
Yeah, but he's playing really good though.
Didn't Mike Gundy call him something Allegheny or something? He called him something odd.
Probably, but I guess half the Big 12 was off this Saturday. Iowa State beat the dog crap out of Louisiana Monroe 72-20. SMU beats TCU.
Yep.
How does that happen?
I guess the Shane Buechele guy is pretty good, I guess.
Shane Buechele, ex-Texas Longhorn, goes to SMU. They beat TCU.
Yep. TCU got to give up points all year long, and then they had how much to give up? 30-something?
Yeah. They gave up 41 points.
Wow.
SMU won 41-38.
41 points.
West Virginia squeaked one out over Kansas 29-24. That actually shocks me. How
did what's the name? Austin Kendall do?
Let me see if I can find
Pull up the old box score on there. Because you know what? When he was here, I thought he was a pretty good quarterback. But I mean, you're not gonna supplant Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
There's just no way he was going to do that. So I mean, I don't blame him for transferring, especially since Jalen Hurts came in and the number one quarterback of the nation came in. And
yeah, he was 25 of 37 with 202 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
That's not great, especially against Kansas.
Yeah. So, man, how do you not throw a touchdown pass with that many yards and that many attempts? That's kind of crazy.
I don't know. But nobody really, outside of several quarterbacks, no running backs are kind of separating themselves outside of the Taylor kid from Wisconsin, or unless you guys think there's somebody.
That Hubbard guy was really good, but I'm not sure how good he played this weekend.
Chuba?
Yeah, he was leading the country in rushing going into this weekend.
Yeah,
so.
but they're going to lose another 2 or 3 games, and that he'll be out of it. Am I right?
That's how the Heisman's more about best player on best.
It's supposed to be,
team,
but
it's not best player. If it's best player, then the guy from Alabama could have won last year. Sue should have won it. So I mean,
well, you know as well as I do that if they lose 2 or 3 more games, he's got no shot.
Yeah,
he's got no shot.
That's with everyone pretty much. Like winning means more than anything else, which shouldn't matter. But that's why McCaffrey. Really that's why McCaffrey didn't win.
It's kind of become the best player on the top, 2 or 3, 4 or 5 teams, something like that.
Yeah.
Baylor squeaked out one against Rice. Don't know what happened there. 21-13.
Well, for starters, Baylor's just not very good.
I thought they were kind of.
They were leading the country in scoring, weren't they?
Coming up, but
well, again, you got to play somebody.
Yeah.
And obviously, Rice is somebody to them, right?
Right. And the Battle of Ugly Orange was won by the Burnt Orange, Texas.
So do we get a game day then, you think? As long as we win,
I don't think anything else is happening that week. So.
Yeah, so probably going to get a game day, which we deserve and need. But, again, we watched the first half of the first quarter, I guess, Caleb's what we got to see. So 36-30 was the final. And I can tell you what I know happened during that game is that Iron Maiden came on stage about 8 o'clock, 8:30 in Dallas and put on an amazing 2.5-hour show. I would ask Caleb, but Caleb probably doesn't remember much of the show.
Not really any of it, really. Fine with me. I had a good time.
Caleb decided to start the night at the pizza joint with 2 double vodkas with water.
Also drinking stuff that we were drinking all day, too, at the lake.
And so at one point he sat down and took a nap at the concert. First time I've ever seen anybody nap at an Iron Maiden concert.
All right.
So, but we had a good time. Saw some old friends from McAllister and visited with them for a little bit. Caleb, the best quote of the night, though, Rob, was when the concert was over, we're sitting waiting on the buddies to come swing by, and Caleb looks at me and goes, "Are you driving me home?" And I went, "How else are you going to get home, Caleb? You came with me. You're with me." "I don't know."
Wow. So, all right.
Yeah.
But he was better as we stopped and got something to eat at Buc-ee's.
Yeah. First time going there.
Have you ever seen those places?
I've heard about them. I don't think I've ever been in.
Yeah, there's like 732,000 gas pumps in front of this place, wow. And it's like the size of like a Homeland store, and it's a convenience store, and they got everything you can imagine in there.
Fresh food.
Fudge.
That fudge thing. I got some fudge. Like make fresh fudge.
Yeah.
All right.
So. Stopped and had a little tailgate in the truck, sit there and ate at about 2 o'clock. It was about 1:30, 2 o'clock when we were there, something like that. Didn't get back to Lake Texoma until
2:30.
2:30. Didn't get in bed until 3. So
that's a late night.
Yeah, got up and Went over and visited with Mike and Tanya for a little bit before they left, and left there about noon. And I came here, and as you know, Rob, I was about 3 o'clock. I laid down to watch, or sitting here on the couch, kind of leaned over to watch football. And next thing I know, Teresa's in here waking me up, going, "Rob's here." So, but that's all I know about the Oklahoma State-Texas game. So,
well, neither one of them really defensively made any. You know, they weren't. You weren't just like, "Ooh, they're playing some defense." You know, they're just okay.
yeah.
They're just okay.
So match Oklahoma up with either one of them. Do we march down the field?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll destroy them offensively. Now, can we stop Texas? Can we stop Oklahoma State? That's obviously been the question for the last 5 years or something. I mean, Oklahoma State, if that quarterback continues to develop, they're going to be legit because Chuba Hubbard is good, and that wide receiver is,
Really
he's
good.
really good.
Yeah.
And you know what? Texas is methodical. They're pretty good. Bellinger, whatever her name is.
Eleanor.
She's not bad.
She just looks funny.
Their backs are just serviceable though. I didn't see any back at Texas that I was like, ooh,
Well, they're all hurt. They only got one back right now.
Well,
So I mean,
that'll hurt them if they become one-dimensional. Well, I'm not saying we can stop them, but I want us to be able to stop them.
Yeah.
How about that?
I don't like the guy all the way. But he doesn't make turnovers and he scores touchdowns. He has better stats than Jalen does passing, which is crazy. But I mean, he doesn't do it. I think he has before going to that game, 11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. It's he's a really good college football player, which I hate saying.
He's solid. There ain't no doubt about it.
He's a Texas Tebow, which is just terrible.
Yeah. Why is he a Texas Tebow?
That's what he plays like. He plays like Tim Tebow. He can't throw the ball, but he doesn't turn the ball over and he scores.
Oh, okay.
And, their offensive line is pretty
sense.
good. They gave him time.
Yeah, we watched
So-
there was time. I don't think there was many college football fans at the little restaurant we were at. They were all wearing Iron Maiden shirts. And the owner of the place had the TV, the only TV in there, turned to the NASA channel.
Yeah.
All right.
Have you ever watched the NASA channel, Rob?
No purpose.
It's a view from a satellite.
That's all it is.
And all it is, it's just a satellite, and it's going around the Earth. And so you said that's the NASA, and that's what he had on. And Caleb asked him, and he said, "Yeah, we can put it on there." And so
That'd probably be interesting for like a minute.
yeah, and so
Then you'd be like, okay.
me and Caleb were the only ones. Usually when you're in a restaurant bar, everybody, people starts paying attention to what's going on, in a game. And me and Caleb, I think, were the only ones going, "Oh, for the love of God, somebody tackle him, get some pressure on him. Come on, Oklahoma State." Nobody else said anything, did they?
No,
If it had been Oklahoma, they might have been watching it though, huh?
Yeah. But, and that's another thing I got to share about Iron Maiden is that I've always said they are worldwide. At that bar, we were sitting at the bar eating. It was a restaurant, it was a pizza joint. And the guy next to us was from Canada. I can't remember where in Canada, but he came and Kay was like, "Why Dallas?" Well, ended up he came down with friends the night before to watch Eric Clapton play, and he goes, "I didn't know that Iron Maiden was going to be here, and then when I saw they were, I stayed over."
As well.
I don't know if I would travel from Oklahoma to Canada to see Eric Clapton, but
Well, it was a guitar festival. It was like Eric Clapton, Gary Hart Jr., all the best guitarists in the world were there. So it wasn't just him. It was like a huge festival of all the best guitarists in the world.
they didn't invite me.
Did you see that we picked up a 4-star offensive lineman?
Yes, I did.
And he's probably going to get a 5th star before he graduates.
He's probably going to get a 6-star because the video I watched of him, he was blocking people out of the stadium.
right.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
he was driving kids. It looked like, what was that movie?
Blindside.
Blindside. Every play looked like that. I mean, he was driving kids off, and he'd just kind of turn around and walk back over to the. He was knocking kids out of the screen.
Yeah, pretty good offensive lineman, I think.
Why would any offensive? It's like quarterback. Offensive lineman and quarterback should just come to Oklahoma.
All right.
Wisconsin. They're the only competition. Wisconsin does it too.
Yeah, but
Well, that offensive line at Georgia is pretty good.
yeah,
Did you see them? You didn't see them.
No, didn't see
Yeah,
them.
their offensive line's legit.
They're the favorite this year to win that trophy this year.
Yeah, they probably will because Jake from State Farm had all day.
Well, and the only thing really, Caleb was keeping everybody posted out at the lake on the Wisconsin, Michigan. Everybody was getting a good laugh out of that every time they had. What was the final score to that? Does anybody know?
It's like 30-something to 8. I think.
Yeah.
Maybe I scored more, but it was like it was a beatdown.
Yeah, and because it was 21-0 at one point, wasn't it?
Maybe
Yeah.
28-0, maybe.
So, and we were listening to Barstool Sports on Sirius, and they were talking about Michigan's coach will never be fired.
I don't think he will.
Well,
I think
he's a pretty good coach.
I think he'll
but-
just leave. I think he'll leave before they fire him. So I mean,
Listen, Michigan's not that good, so
No.
they're going to lose another game or two.
Yeah, but they were talking about he's not going to be fired. They went after him, and they were even talking about even if he goes, doesn't beat Ohio State the next 10 years, and they're like, no. Some of the guys were that's the guy they wanted. He's Michigan roots, and that's what matters to them. It's not always about winning. It's about they have a beautiful. Is there another flag?
yeah.
I'm sitting here looking at these guys, and they both just roll their eyes and shake
I'm
their
like,
head.
come on, ref. I mean, he's calling stuff 20 yards away from the ball.
But
Pass
yeah, we
plays
do
on
have
offense.
the Cleveland.
It's a screenplay. How you can call Pat?
Terrible, terrible, terrible. But, yeah, you're right. What were you saying?
That
About Michigan.
Harbaugh
Harbaugh.
won't.
All right, yeah. They're
Michigan.
never going to.
It's not necessarily, especially when they have who they want.
That's a terrible call.
It's not
Terrible call.
They're not going to push to get rid of him.
Well,
He's a Michigan roots.
You know who else got Michigan roots?
Les Miles.
Les Smiles.
They brought him up, but they said the only way that happens.
If he takes Kansas to a national championship.
Well,
Kansas goes to a bowl game. They're like, if you take Kansas to a bowl game, that's
that's pretty big, wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
yeah. But you think that, but Mangino
that's what
took
they
him to the Orange Bowl and
Fired 2 years later.
2 years later, and I don't even know if he's coaching now. I mean,
What is funny is they've had some big time coaches.
yeah,
Charlie, what's his name from
Charlie Weiss.
yeah.
They had Charlie Weiss. They had, Mangino's not. That big of a name, but he
He turned the program around
he
during
did
that
definitely
period
turn it around.
and got him to the Orange Bowl. There was the the Texas fiasco when he was BCS.
Oh, right.
Money.
Money.
They got robbed, and they did. They got
They
robbed,
definitely did.
and they wanted but.
Listen, I want you to know, Baker Mayfield is carving the Rams up.
Oh my God!
He may be the best quarterback in pro football.
History.
Maybe history.
Yeah, he's passing Johnny Unitas, Troy Aikman, Terry Bradshaw at this point in time in his 12th game.
He's like a chef back there, just carving them up. So
The only thing Baker has done really, really well this year that I've seen are his at home with Baker and
yeah, those are
commercials.
good.
So
Yeah.
he is doing a good job with his commercials. What do you? Let's bring a little bit of pro football talk since we got the Browns on.
Okay.
Speaking of Browns, Antonio Brown gets released.
Man, all right. So what? 2 weeks ago, he had $30 million on the table, right?
Yep.
And he turned it down.
Yep.
And then he went to the Patriots for how many million?
I think
9. And if he was good, they will give him like that $30 million back, pretty much. So
Fired, right?
Yeah, because he couldn't stay off of his phone, basically.
And today he
Deemed himself never to play football again because of the owners and he was becoming a problem at Pittsburgh for a while. I know we're over, and it is very difficult for me to say that, but I was glad to see him go. I mean, just simply, he just got crazy, and they were listening to the guy's got mental problems. I think
if
he's
you
like,
keep your mouth shut, though.
yeah,
$30 million.
Think of that, Rob. You take a new job and they say, stay off your phone, don't tweet, don't talk to anybody, just play football.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Here, How about you hold my phone?
Yeah, I'll just do away. I'll delete my Instagram. I'll delete my Twitter account. You can't eat. Oh, it's these pro athletes like that are like that is just dumbfounding to me how they can.
And now the memes are coming out with him and what's the guy from the 49ers?
Oh,
he's like, you want to play catch?
Yeah. Talking about Kaepernick?
That's one. Yeah. That's one. If you two guys just shut your mouth, and play football, I mean, I guess they're rich or whatever, but I mean, who's going to turn down $30 million? Just keep your mouth shut.
Somebody who already has $30 million.
I guess.
It's just I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Huh? Looky there. Baker drove Cleveland into the 6-yard line and stalled them out.
It's all Baker's
people
fault.
are going to start hating me if I keep doing this.
You better watch your mouth, sir.
I'm going to start getting death threats if I keep. But I make it clear I like Baker. I want him to do well. It just cracks me up how everybody is Baker fans, and I'm going to say it every week this week. Do not wear Baker Browns jerseys to an Oklahoma football game anymore.
It's at Terry Long 5150. He's a hater.
Yeah, do not, and people share that out there on Twitter. Tell people do not wear your ugly brown and orange Baker. Buy a Baker Sooner jersey, and I'm all behind that. I would love it. Rob, you still wear your Billy Sims jersey, don't you?
Absolutely.
There is nothing wrong with that. Would you wear?
It's got orange on it, so no.
No, but would you wear Billy Sims' Detroit Lions jersey to an OU game? Oh my gosh!
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But you know what I do? I did. Somebody bought me a Harley Davidson shirt that has orange on it.
It hurts, doesn't it?
It hangs in the closet.
Do you own any orange clothing, Caleb?
I think they have that Sunrise shirt. That's the only thing I have. The Thunder Westbrook shirt.
Ugh.
That's the only one I got.
And see, that's another thing. The Thunder should have never added that orange lining.
Sunrise orange.
Yeah.
You know why they call it that?
Because they can't.
Sooner fans would buy them.
Yeah.
It's not orange. It's sunrise.
It's sunrise.
Okay.
So,
You know
but
how many I own?
none. Yeah, I don't. I have some Thunder shirts, but I never bought any of them that had any orange on them. They're all blue. I quit hunting because of orange. No.
I quit going to jail because like, hey, can I get like blue jumpsuit instead of an orange one? They're like, no. So I'm like, okay, no more crime for me.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and get Team Barfinder on here and talk to them a little bit about their part with us and tell you what all they're about. All right, Sooner fans, on the phone with us all the way from Orange County, California, the creator of TeamBarfinder.com. We got Dave Lamb on. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing well. Boomer, guys.
Boomer. So, first off, we kind of talked about it. You just got home from the Chargers-Texans game. Texas, good Lord. How was that experience for you?
It was great. I used to be a season ticket holder for the Chargers for a number of years, 2004. Long story short, my ex-wife bought me season tickets to the Chargers back in 2004, and I jokingly say that I have two great kids, and I was able to maintain my Charger tickets after the divorce. So she got to keep everything else, but those three things were the ones that I wanted to keep the most. Unfortunately, I let my season tickets go in the year, I forget what it was, 2-3 years ago, when the Chargers moved from Qualcomm down in San Diego up to was Home Depot Center, was called StubHub, now it's called Dignity Health Sports Park, whatever it is, the soccer stadium. So we actually had friends that we would tailgate with down in San Diego that won season tickets, but unfortunately they had already had a pre-planned vacation, a European vacation, so they gifted us tickets to this game. And they were field passes. They were right there in the end zone to the point where when Keenan Allen scored his first touchdown, he came and posed in front of the cameras, like right there. I mean, we're talking 5 yards away from us. It was crazy. And the Charger girls would like walk by it. We're talking like it was right there. All food and drink, totally paid for. It was a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Well, you had
the results of the game. The results of the game could have gone differently, but unfortunately, you can't script those things.
Yeah, you had us at Chargers girls, right, Rob?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So what? Okay, I've seen pictures of that stadium, and obviously I've seen it on TV. What is it like watching a football game in a giant soccer?
I thought you were going to say, what's it like watching a Chargers girl?
No, Rob.
Yeah, there's no bad seat in the house at all. To
Really?
the point where you're on top of the field, even if you're in an end zone corner top, because it's not any major stadium like Jerry's World down in Dallas, which has got 100,000 or whatever it seats or something like that. It's not even like Owen Field. It's 30,000, and it's all essentially one level, and there's not a bad seat in the house, and it's pretty much the most unique sporting experience I've ever seen, because I've been to a number of different stadiums all around the country, and just because it's just so small, and it's kind of cliche, but it is an intimate atmosphere to the point where there's not a bad sideline, there's not a bad seat in the house, and unfortunately, it doesn't provide that much of a home field advantage, because a lot of the transplants come from all over the place, and we'll get to the whole team bar finder aspect thing, which essentially feeds into that. But there's so many people that move to Southern California from other places. They save up their money and they buy up the tickets in a smaller venue because that's their only chance to see their team.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunately it doesn't provide that true home field advantage, because essentially, I don't know, I would say a good 30 to sometimes 50% of the stadium is wearing the opposing team's colors.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic, and I don't think it's ever going to happen ever again, because with the way the LA stadium is being built, it's on track to be built for next, and they're going to open next season. It's a unique experience. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah, we saw the stadium when we were going out leaving LA.
Right out by the airport, right?
Yeah, it's out by the airport, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's in Inglewood. Technically, it's in Inglewood, Hollywood Park area, and it's under construction, and it's a monstrous undertaking.
Yeah, it was big. Now, Scotty was telling us they had to dig it deep into the ground because because it's out by the airport, and they were like, you have to get it lower than what, I guess he said the original plans had it too high or something like that.
Right.
Incoming aircraft would hit it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it has to be, there's the FAA rules, there's some sort of actual clearance from whatever building is being built there. It has to be a certain amount of clearance for the approach to LAX.
Yeah.
So, they kind of had to dig down and kind of get it a little bit lower.
Yeah, but that's what's interesting about all these big domes like that. I know Jerry's World is like it, and now apparently LA Stadium's going to be like it. You'd be surprised how much of those domes are underground. I mean, Jerry's World, you walk in at ground level and you're on the top of the top level, so
right. It's still huge.
Yeah, it goes down deep as well. So I guess that's not just for aircraft out in LA not to fly into it, but I guess that's kind of the thing when you build a dome, you dig it into the ground. So
right.
I think a lot of football stadiums do that, which dumbfounds me as well, is how does water drain if you dig it out if you dig a canyon and put a football stadium in it. But but anyway, let's get on to Team Bar Finder, and you're the creator of Team Bar Finder. Tell everybody out there what Team Bar Finder is, how it came about, and all that stuff.
So the basic concept is, obviously using Sooner Faithful as a great example, is, University of Oklahoma has alumni and fans all over the country.
Right.
And not everybody can get a ticket or be in Norman for game day. And even though I live out here in Southern California, graduated in 1997, I want to say, is when I graduated from the University of Oklahoma. I probably should look at my diploma. But, I moved back to California and obviously maintained my fandom and, remained a Sooner fan for life. But being able to get back and to go to the game, it's very, very difficult. It's not very, very cost effective. And there's alumni associations all over the country, and there's bars out there that show the Sooner games with Sooner faithful and all that. So the concept actually came about, and so the concept of the website and the mobile apps, available in both Android and iOS for iPhone or iPad users, is you want to create and replicate that game day experience without actually having to go back to whatever it happens to be, whatever stadium you're a fan of, team you're a fan of.
Right.
So the concept came about is I was actually in Las Vegas a number of years ago for a trade show. And this is early January, and it was the national championship game when it was the Sooners and Florida Gators. And we all know that Tim Tebow took that game over and pretty much destroyed us.
Yeah.
But the concept I came off the trade show floor around, I want to say 4:30 in the afternoon. The game was going to start at 6. I didn't want to try to elbow somebody out of the sports book at the hotel that I was staying at and try to find, a seat with somebody who's there with a parlay ticket or, whatever. I wanted to put on my hat and my T-shirt and go to a bar. And I figured Vegas is a big enough city, and the Sooners have a big enough alumni and fan base that there's got to be a Sooners bar in Las Vegas that's going to be obviously showing the game. And I wanted to high-five somebody when we scored a touchdown, and I wanted to cry in my beer with another Sooner fan when we threw an interception. And that was the concept. But unfortunately, there was no database, or there was no way to find that out quickly without going on, and social media at that time wasn't what it is today.
Right.
And, message boards and whatever it is. So unfortunately, I went back to my hotel room, showered up, ordered room service, and watched it in my hotel room, which I was like, this isn't what I wanted to do. So that's when the light bulb went on. So I started the website a number of years ago as just a way to kind of compile a database of not just Sooners bars, but it was NFL, NCAA, and then all the major sports. So we're talking Major League Baseball, NBA, but the predominant watch party. So this is basically a way to find game watches, no matter if you're 10 miles from your team's home stadium or if you're 1,000 miles away. This is a way to watch the game with like-minded fans and find those locations that are showing the game with sound on the big screen TV with other like-minded fans in there. So I created it a number of years ago. We launched the iOS mobile app about, I want to say, less than a year ago, probably in December of this past year. And then we just recently released the Android app, I want to say the first week of college football. So, I can go over all the details or whatever it is, but I don't know if you guys have any other additional questions on. But that's basically what it is. It's a way for fans to find a watch party that's near them that replicates the game day atmosphere, even if they're really, really far away from home.
Right. I noticed on some of them and I know there are bars like this across the country with Oklahoma that there are some of them that's all they show. When you go there, it is the Sooners fans at that local bar. And
as it should be.
Yeah. I know there's one out in Phoenix. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head right now. That's all the Sooner fans go there. So it's a Sooner, game watch experience from that bar. And that's what people will be able to find with the app.
And all the TVs are turned to that game. The sound throughout the bar is the actual announcers. It's not like they're just playing the game and then they're playing a DJ or something like that. At halftime, a lot of these places, especially a lot of the NFL bars, will do raffles or 50/50s or, trivia contests and win a jersey and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we're talking, I know, Steelers fan, correct?
Oh, yeah.
So there's Steelers bars up in OKC where you go there and on a Sunday or a Monday Night Football, if they're playing, it's all black and yellow.
Yep.
And, they've got $3, whatever it is. Like, they got drink specials every touchdown and, all that other kind of stuff. And so it's a great way for people to continue to be a sports fan and continue to be social and enjoy that game day experience without hopping on a plane and flying to Pittsburgh or wherever.
Yeah. Now, you do the UFC now too, don't you? I saw that you have like UFC bars on it that show that.
We haven't really gotten into UFC because a lot of those bars will typically choose this pay-per-view versus that pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And it's not trustworthy because if they decide to show the Ronda Rousey one a couple of years ago, and then they don't choose to do the pay-per-view because it's not that, the card isn't that exciting or whatever it is, it's really, really hard to have the database update constantly whether that particular bar is having that UFC pay-per-view fight.
Well,
it's a lot easier to maintain when it comes to, okay, this is a Seattle Seahawks bar.
Yeah.
And they're going to probably remain a Seattle Seahawks bar until they close.
Yeah.
Or they switch, they change management and management doesn't want to be a Seahawks bar anymore. They want to be another bar. They want to just change they don't want to be a sports bar at all. They want to be a nightclub lounge and not show sports at all or, whatever it happens to be.
Well,
and that's one of the major challenges that we have is that most people know out there, the bar and the restaurant industry is extremely volatile to the point where bars close all the time or management changes quite rapidly and they'll choose to change from being a sports bar to being a nightclub and then they no longer show the games. So without actually having the people out there in the wild going to these bars and providing us feedback and saying, hey, you know what, unfortunately this place no longer is a Dallas Cowboys bar. They chose not to renew the NFL ticket. Please remove them from your database. But, we've got nearly 3,000 locations in the database, and it's impossible to keep up with every single one of them. So we rely with a lot of the people out there that are going to these places that if they do come across one that is closed or has changed management or whatever it is, to email us and to let us know, and then we'll update the database as quickly as possible. And the same thing goes with, there's a way in the app and then also on the website for people to add locations to the point where we don't know of every single bar out there. That might be one that just recently opened up and wants to be you name it, a New York Jets bar or something like that. And a lot of these places happen to be affiliated with a particular team or a particular region because the owner or the manager is from that region.
Right.
Like, oh, this is a Buffalo Bills bar in Tampa, St. Pete area because the owner migrated from Buffalo and was tired of snows and blizzards and lake weather. They would rather shovel sunshine in Tampa, but they still remain loyal to the Buffalo Bills and they'll show their games and all that kind of stuff. So there's these that's constantly changing. So we rely on a lot of the users out there to let us know that, hey, something's changed or something new has come on board. And we provide those tools for people to alert us of either changes or additions. Yeah,
now, because I know Rob and I both watched Bar Rescue with John Tapper. So the everybody knows how fast the bar, that bar industry can change. Like I said, the new manager comes in or new ownership or, unless like you said, the owner is this is what we do on Saturday and this is what we do on Sunday for the games. If it's a new manager, they could just come in and change everything if the owner isn't that involved. So,
right. You're absolutely right.
And, those fans out there that listen to us, I know, like I said, I know a few of them that there's places that they go to watch the games that are Sooner fans, but they don't really announce it. They don't know, how to go about adding to get more people there. So how would somebody on the website go on and add their favorite bar, or their Sooner bar, or whatever bar it is that they can get more folks to come and watch?
On the website, we actually have a page that says submit a bar, or I think it says submit a location, whatever it happens to be. And then also through the apps is on the if you open up the app, on the left-hand side, the bottom left, there's like a little plus symbol down there. Pardon me. You just open that up, and then it brings up a field, and it says, bar name, teams affiliated with this particular location, address, any additional information if you want to say, like, oh, they have half-price appetizers for the first half with fans wearing jerseys, or, any of that extra additional stuff that people would want to say, like, oh, well, they host two teams. The Minnesota Viking fans meet in the upstairs room, and then the Dallas Cowboy fans are in the downstairs bar area or something like that. Any additional information that will help us to be able to help verify. But the basics is we just need to know the name of the bar. We try to tell people, don't list the name of the bar as Dallas Cowboys Fan Bar. We need to know what the name of the bar is. We need to know what the name of the restaurant is. If it's Hooters in Daytona Beach, and then you can tell us, okay, it's a Dallas Cowboys bar. Great, no problem. But you need to let us know the name of the bar, the teams that they support, and the location that it is at. You don't necessarily need to give us the street address all the way down to the exact zip code. If you can just give us name, teams that they're affiliated with, and the city, Google does the rest for us, and we can verify it. We can pick up the phone. We can say, hey, this was submitted to us. Are you in fact, a such and such bar? And they'll confirm it or say, no, that's erroneous information, or whatever it is. I mean, we've had some knuckleheads that have submitted a bar that is the opposite, the team's rival. So
Lord.
It would be somebody said, oh, yeah, this is the University of Texas Longhorns bar, and it actually turns out to be a Sooners bar. I mean, imagine that. If we didn't actually have to go out there and verify the locations, just took it at their word. Oh, yeah, sure. Thanks, Joe Schmo user out there that decided to make that suggestion. The next thing you know, a bunch of people in, burnt orange show up at a Sooner bar. That would be quite interesting.
Yeah.
So, we do the due diligence to be able to help verify a lot of these locations. But keeping track of if places have closed, we've already kind of mentioned that. But yeah, there's a number of different ways on the website or via the app. You can always submit a new location, and you can always email us and say, hey, this place is no longer this affiliation. They're now affiliated with that team, or however it is. There's ways to contact us and alert us to changes as well.
Yeah. Now I know from experience with bar atmospheres, game day bar atmospheres like that, if it is, like you said, a Sooner bar or whatever, the people that go there are, they're the same people every week. Like you were talking about, there's a Steelers restaurant up here in Oklahoma City, or a restaurant here in Oklahoma City that, I mean, half of their, and it's a national chain, and half of it is Steelers stuff in there because the GM for it is from Pittsburgh, and it is nothing but Steelers fans there on Sunday afternoons watching or Monday night, whenever, watching the Steelers game. But if they don't know you, they accept you in. It's, my wife and I went once, and we're like, oh, well, let's give it a try. Not, we didn't have a bad experience. We just didn't, we don't go up there all the time. But the first time we went up there, people didn't know us. Guess what they did? They came and said, hey, who are you? Welcome. And they took us around introducing us to everybody. So fans that congregate like that are really cool.
Birds of a feather, right?
Yep.
It kind of, I would compare it to, it's kind of like the camaraderie that you get when you go tailgating, to the point where you might be going, and obviously your tailgate is, hey, we set up at a particular location. We're here all the time. And other people set up around us, and we're friendly to them as well because we're all kind of regulars. But a lot of the time, especially in the NFL, you don't necessarily get your same parking spot all the time. But the camaraderie of people tailgating, oh, man, somebody forgot the mustard. You go to your next door neighbor and you ask them, like, hey, can we borrow your mustard? Or,
Right.
hey, we forgot our lighter fluid, or, whatever it happens to be. Whereas in today's society, back in the 50s, it was, the cliche was, oh, go next door and borrow a cup of sugar if you're baking a cake. Whereas today, we just hop in our cars and we go down to the local grocery store and buy a bag of sugar and then continue to bake our cake or whatever it is. We don't necessarily go to our neighbors and ask to borrow things. But in the tailgating environment, you do. Well, a lot of these team bars, same thing. Oh, hey, you know what? You're a fan of my team. We already have this common kinship to the point where, I'm going to be friendly. I'm going to introduce you to everybody else. Hey, welcome in.
Right.
You're kind of my, it's that band of brothers, or you're kind of a family member already just by your own, your fandom, your team affiliation is already kind of like that calling card for you. It kind of gets your foot in the door. So that's one of the things that I developed this concept for when we developed Team Bar Finder, the website, and the mobile apps would be, it might be for people who travel quite a bit.
Right.
Say, like, you're a season ticket holder for the Green Bay Packers, but you love your Green Bay Packers, but you travel, unfortunately, and sometimes you might happen to be in Atlanta or Dallas or Seattle, you name it, during football season, but unfortunately you can't make it back and go to the game at Lambeau, but you sure as hell would love to be able to watch the game in Atlanta or Dallas or Seattle with other Green Bay fans.
Right.
And there's a ton of Packer bars. And I've actually found that the colder weather teams, so we're talking any of the NFC North, we're talking Chicago, Detroit, Green Bay, Buffalo, New England, all of those teams that have the colder weather aspect, where a lot of those snowbirds will actually leave and relocate, but they still hold on to their fandom. That's where, the majority of those cold weather teams, Southern California, Arizona, Texas, Florida, all throughout the warmer weather states, you find a lot of these cold weather team bars. And, a lot of people complain. I had some people complain, like, well, how come I can't find a UCLA bar in Minneapolis? It's like, because people, if you went to UCLA, we don't move to go to Minneapolis.
Yeah.
People from Minneapolis move to LA, but, normally, you don't get the reverse migration where people who are growing up and are fans of warm weather teams. Now, New York City is kind of the exception to the rule because everybody migrates and moves to New York. So there's warm weather teams. You'll find a Tampa Bay Buccaneers bar in, New York City. You'll find, you'll find a Miami Dolphins bar in Chicago. But the New York and Chicago are kind of the exceptions to the rule. But you typically will not find warm weather teams in cold weather cities. It's just kind of rare. But unfortunately, that's just kind of the way the world works.
And that actually happened to me. I was a regional director before I working at the university, and I was in, Saginaw, Michigan or something like that. And the only place I could find to watch the OU game was not a good place. So I didn't get to watch. I was in there for, like, I was like, oh my gosh, I just walked into a place where nobody's got their clothes on. And yeah, it was going to cost me like $150 to go in there and watch the game. I was like, yeah, I'm just going to listen to it on the radio.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and you brought up like New York City. I know that game day when they were up there, I don't remember what game they did, but they talked about there is a bar for almost for every college football team in New York City. If you're Sooners or almost, there is some bar in that city that is nothing but that team.
Right.
Which is really, I guess that's part of the uniqueness of New York, I guess.
Right.
Is that every college team has a bar up there that, somebody went to Miami or went to Oklahoma or went to, I would say Arkansas, but I don't think they, moved to. But I
Well,
mean,
I
there's
I
places
was
everywhere.
noticing that earlier in the week, and I huge thank you and kudos to you guys when you guys did the social media post, especially on Twitter, encouraging a number of your followers to follow the Team Barfinder Twitter account. As we get alerted to, oh, this person has started following your Team Barfinder, I would click into their profile, and it was the vast majority of them were Sooner fans. But then they were also in their little brief, 140 character profile would say, "Oh, I'm a Cleveland Browns fan," or
Right.
"I'm a this fan or that fan." I mean, this is an absolute perfect thing for them because even if they live in Oklahoma, they're probably a fan of another team from outside of the area. So
Right.
definitely would love to be able to get more team bars added to the Oklahoma City area as well. But I mean, I would just encourage anybody to download it. It's free. It's free on both Android and the iTunes store. Download it and check to see if you're like, oh yeah, I didn't know that that's a team bar. I wonder what team bar that happens to be. What fans tend to gather there. Shoot us a message and say, oh yeah, you know what, confirmed. I've been in this place and it looks like Lambeau Field threw up in there because you can't get anywhere else without finding, Bart Starr's jersey or, Brett Favre's old jockstrap or, whatever
Right.
it is. And then also if it's like, oh, you know what, I know of a bar that's down the street. I might not be a fan of that particular team, but I've been in there before and, that place is Seattle Seahawks or it's, San Francisco 49ers or, whatever it happens to be. We as sports fans kind of have this kinship no matter what team we root for is I think the cool concept would be is like, well, you know what? I might not be a fan of your team, but I know how cool it is to go to a bar and watch the game with other Sooner fans. It would be great for an A&M Aggies fan to be able to find that, or an LSU fan, or whatever it happens to be. Because I mean, we all want everybody to have a good experience, even if they are Texas fans or
Right.
Oklahoma State fans. I mean, come on.
No, we
But,
don't. Me and Rob
was-
don't. Yeah, maybe other people.
Well,
me and
I get
Rob. But
I get you. But that's kind of the basic concept is it's like, the sports fans, we all want to have that really, really good experience. And that, short of being in the experience, being in the stadium on game day, this is the next best thing.
Right. Now, what was one of the things that everybody want everybody to know as well is that there is a link from our website to Team Barfinder, and we made that link direct for Sooner fans. So if you're on our website, Team Barfinder is everywhere on our website now. Every page, homepage, sponsor page, tailgate page, you can click right on that, and it'll take you right to the Sooner bars. And I'm trying to think just off the. I know I think you've got them in. There's a bunch of cities. I think Phoenix. I don't remember what all they were, but it's pretty impressive, y'all. But you can link it to ours or go through us and to get there, and it'll take you right to the Sooner fans section of it. So we set that up for obvious reasons because we're Sooner fans, and so they can go straight to that.
Going to the Sooner page is obviously the most. It makes the most sense because obviously, I have a feeling that 99% of the people that are listening to your podcast are Sooner fans.
Yeah.
So that makes the most sense to send them to the information that they are definitely going to want to get.
And it may be something that, I mean, some of you guys out there that y'all already go to a, pub in your town out there across the nation, and you go, you know what, I want to add, I want to invite people, because that's one thing that Sooner fans do that is in my opinion. I don't know other fan bases as obviously as well, but Sooner fans are some of the most gracious fans out there, and they want to share their experience. So if you're out there and you have your favorite spot that you go to, and you want more people to come to your favorite spot and meet more people, I think this would be a great way to do that. Make sure it's okay with the bar, obviously. But
well, I'll tell you a quick funny story is that I actually had a gentleman email me, and he says, "Oh, I'm the Roaring Riot president, and I guess that's kind of like the Carolina Panthers fan club, and I guess they call them the Roaring Riot. And
Okay.
yeah, right. And he emails me an Excel sheet, and he says, "Hey, I noticed that you didn't have a whole lot of Carolina Panthers bars in your database. I'm going to share with you mine, and you can upload it and put it into your database." So I was like, "Wow, this guy obviously knows what he's talking about." So this was one of the few times that we uploaded all the different locations and prettied it up, and says, "Okay, this is a Carolina Panthers bar. This one, this one, this one." Well, I forget exactly how it came across the radar screen, but I had called the Portland Carolina Panthers bar that we had listed in Portland as being a Panthers bar. And I called and talked to the gal, and I said, are you, I'm trying to confirm, are you a Carolina Panthers bar? She says, "You know what's crazy? We weren't, but I don't know what website or a mobile app or whatever it is, somebody listed us." And this was last year. This was going into the last year's NFL season. She said, the first week of NFL, we had people showing up in black and blue, and we had a dude in like a powder blue suit, and he had Carolina Panthers tie on. She says, we had like about 35 people just showed up and said, "Oh yeah, we Googled on the internet Carolina Panthers bar in Portland and came across a website, and they all just showed up here." And I was like, "Oh wow, I'm sorry. Should I remove you?" She's like, "Oh no, hell no, don't remove us." That was the best mistake that you guys could have ever done, because now we're a full-blown Carolina Panthers bar. We didn't plan on it, but our bar owner is saying, "Hey, we get 35 to 40, 50 people in here every Sunday. Our servers are happy, our cooks are happy,
Yeah.
The wait staff, everybody here is happy because we're all watching the game for 3-4 hours or whatever it is, but we're serving wings and beer and all that other kind of stuff." So she says, "Thank you very much for adding us. We didn't ask for it, but yeah, please keep us as a Carolina Panthers bar, because apparently there's enough North Carolina transplants here in Portland that we can handle the demand for being the game day watch party bar for the Carolina Panthers up here in the Northwest." So that's one of the things that we would like to be able to add as a and that's further on down the road, is we definitely want to do kind of what, I don't know what I'm going to call it. I was calling it like maybe the matchmaker game, where if you're an alumni group or if you're a fan group in a particular area, but you don't really have a bar that currently caters to you, and let's use Sooners, for example. If there's a group of Sooners in, let's pick Wichita, and there's not a dedicated bar, we would like to be able to offer the service of, "Hey, of all the bars that we have in our database that isn't affiliated with a college team yet, we've got a group of 25, 30 people in Wichita that want to watch Sooner games. Who wants to be the next Sooners bar up here in Wichita?" And
Right.
see what they do. Or we would also like to be able to offer the service to bars and restaurants out there that if they say, "Hey, we're under new management and we're a new sports bar in town, we want to attract fans. Is there a particular alumni base, or is there a particular NFL group that is looking for a home? We would like to be their normal regular spot." So it kind of is a two-way street there that we'd like to be able to offer that. We don't have it built into the app or to the website just yet, but that's something that we would like to be able to kind of do that matchmaking of, here's a group that's looking for a bar, or here's a bar that's looking for a group, and be able to match them up.
That's cool. That's something to look forward to. Now, we appreciate you coming on. We appreciate the partnership and everything we're doing. One more time, tell everybody how to get the app, how to find it on the web, find your website, all that stuff one more time.
Sure. So it's real easy. It's Team. So you're looking for your favorite team. So it's Team Bar Finder. If you just Google that, we're going to come up number one on any internet search. You just search for Team Bar Finder. Also, if you search for Team Bar Finder in either one of the app stores, whether it's Apple iTunes or Google Play for Android users, just in the search Team Bar Finder in any of those app stores, and it'll pop right up number one. Both apps are free to download, so we're not gonna nickel and dime you, and away you go. And then you just load it onto your phone, add your favorite teams, and then, just find your next watch party. So whether you travel, whether you're relocated or you live further away and you're looking for a particular place to watch the game, this is probably the easiest way to do it.
And it's got NCAA, pro football. What else do you have? What other sports?
So we have the major sports. Obviously, football, NCAA, and NFL are obviously the most popular. Those are the ones that typically will have the most watch parties and locations that do watch parties. But we also do bars that are affiliated with Major League Baseball teams, NBA, NHL for hockey fans, and then also international soccer. And because international soccer is kind of a unique thing, but as you know, a lot of these bars have to open up a lot earlier than they normally would to be able to show the games in England or in Europe or wherever it happens to be. So if they do a lot of the English Premier League, they'll typically lean towards one particular team, whether it's Liverpool or Chelsea. I could go down the list, but we have them listed by those soccer pubs, if you will, that are favorable to a particular team. Now, some of them are just football pubs in general that they just show all soccer, and whichever game is on, they'll open up early, and they'll usually, they're typically the English and the Irish pubs that will open up and serve the full English breakfast. But that's another concept that I'm actually working on as well, is a football pub that is just for the international soccer fans out there. You just love soccer and you want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and watch a game live with other people that love the beautiful game. That's on the horizon, but we're not quite there yet.
Now
but
you said English breakfast. Now, isn't part of English breakfast like blood sausage or something like that?
Well,
Which sounds
I've actually
horrid.
been to London, and their bacon is kind of like Canadian bacon, but it's not really like our bacon. And but yeah, they do serve those that typical English breakfast.
No.
A lot of those types of pubs. But yeah, we do list all the main sports. NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, National Hockey League, and then NCAA. But a word of warning to everybody: there's not going to be a Los Angeles Dodgers bar in every single town. Yeah, just the nature of there's 162 games. There's 82 games in the NBA. There's 80 plus games for the NHL. There's 16 games for the NFL. So when it comes to these game watch type locations, football, American football, it dominates the team watch party, the team bar type aspect. But there are other bars out there. If they're a New England Patriots bar, more than likely they're going to be a Red Sox and a Boston Bruins and a Boston Celtics bar.
Right.
Just because more than likely that owner or that manager is from Boston.
Right.
So typically what I would suggest people to do is, if you're looking for a non-football NCAA or NFL sport and we don't have one listed for them, go to that city's particular football and find a football bar that is friendly to that particular team. More than likely they're going to have the baseball, the basketball, or the hockey team as well, because typically,
pro sports,
like I said,
they're across the board. Yeah.
I mean, there's Sonny McLean's out here in Santa Monica is a Patriots bar, but they show Celtics and Red Sox and Bruins games all the time, just because they're the local Boston bar here in Southern California.
All right. Well, I think we got everybody the information we wanted to introduce you to, you, and also he is a Sooner fan, folks. So that's
Isn't everybody?
Sooner alumnus.
Sooner alumnus, not only a fan. So yeah, like Rob said, isn't it, everybody deep inside is a Sooner fan. They just don't realize it yet. So that's another reason to use the Team Bar Finder app. But again, we're excited about this partnership, and everybody, you'll hear about it from now on for quite a while on the podcast of how to go find and how to add bars and all that stuff. So it's a good thing, and I said, when you're traveling, not all of us are Dan from Tailgate who goes to tailgates all over the world. But you guys that travel a lot, you can be able to find the Sooner Bar in your area to watch Sooner games on. So it's a cool concept, and I could have used it before, believe me. So like yourself, when I've been places, and I'm like, and like Rob said, you're like, you want to go watch. You don't want to sit in the hotel room by yourself if you're traveling with work or something, or and sit there and watch it by yourself. You'd much rather watch it in a crowd.
Absolutely. With other Sooner fans, absolutely.
Yeah. So, go check it out. Like I said, Google it or teambarfinder.com, and you're set. And like I said, if you by chance can't remember that, just go to our website, SoonerFootballFans.com, and Team Barfinder is all over it, and you can click it, and you're right there. So, but we appreciate it, Dave, and we will talk at you again soon, okay?
All right. I appreciate it. Thanks for everything you guys do.
Boomer.
All right, Sooner fans, that's a pretty cool concept. I know, teambarfinder.com is where you need to go to check them out. I do know that I've been in a situation, we all have probably,
Definitely.
that we wanted to go somewhere to watch it with fans. So this is the way, whether you're, home-based and you want your local pub or want to share it, or if you're a traveler and you want to know where it's at, now you've got the tool to do it. You can use it for both the Sooners and whoever your pro team, baseball team, basketball team. We won't get into the soccer thing, but but it is available for soccer as well for you soccer fans that are out there. So Caleb had to head home. He's got to get up early for work tomorrow, so he cut out on us. But the best thing about that, him leaving, Rob, is I hid remember he said the fudge that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I hit it, and guess what I'm hitting after we're done with this?
Nice.
I'm hitting the fudge. And we're still got the Browns game on, and the Browns are...
Oh, they're blitzing. Oh, that was a good
nice
call.
Screen. Oop.
Good call. Little screen pass. That's how you beat the blitz, Terry.
Yep.
Screens and draws.
Yep. Slow that defense down a little bit. But the Sooners have the Texas Tech Red Raiders coming in at 11 a.m. I know we're all excited, especially Rob.
Oh, definitely.
About the 11 a.m. kickoff.
I have to be at the stadium at 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
On 11 kick, 3 a.m.
Oh, geez. Can I just give you the tailgate stuff and you set up the tailgate when you go to work?
Well, unfortunately, I will be busy at 3 a.m. It's not like I just go in there and kick back,
Oh, okay.
Set up in Lincoln's office, or something.
Yeah, and kick back. No, you're...
Take a nap on his couch in there. Oh, my gosh, catch the ball. Are you kidding me?
Oh, there's a flag.
Flag on the play. Well, he may get a pass on that one.
Yeah. The Red Raiders this year.
Quarterback still hurt?
Yes, quarterback. My understanding, and there's the other thing we need to talk about too. We'll get to as well.
Our kicker.
Yeah, our kicker. But let's see. Texas Tech has played the Montana State. Looks like Bobcats. Won 45-10. The Miners of University of Texas El Paso won 38-3.
UTEP.
And then 2 weeks ago, or they were on an off week this past week, lost to the Arizona Wildcats of a score of 28-14.
Yep, not a bad game for them, but Arizona's not that good, but at least they are a Power 5 team,
Yeah.
But I don't honestly, Derry, if without that quarterback, Texas Tech is probably not going to be any good.
Yeah. Yeah, and we know last year had he not, he broke a rib, didn't he? Wasn't that what it was?
Yeah, we broke his rib.
Yeah, and so because he was picking the old defense apart pretty good. So we never want to wish injuries on anyone, but
Definitely not.
Especially never a career ending, but a game ending injury, we're okay with.
Yeah, I don't mind knocking a quarterback out of a game, but I don't want him hurt.
So let's see what they've been doing on offense here. They've got 523 yards rushing. They're averaging 167 yards per game. That will be less, I think, against the Sooners.
I would hope.
Yeah. So, let's see, what's their passing rating? Scroll down here. There it is. 102 out of 158. Average per attempt 6.48. Average per game 341. 6 touchdowns. A total of 1,024 passing yards for the Red Raiders. Total offense averaging 508 yards per game. Their opponents, but again, they played UTEP and Montana State, are averaging about 300 yards per game. So, not a whole lot to tell. It's still early. Like I said, I mean, non-conference in college football, you really, really, really can't tell anything about a team.
No, but I mean, history tells us that they've typically never had a good defense, and I don't think this year's any good either. But they were scoring with us.
Right.
Well, they're not going to do that this time.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You know why that is?
Why?
Because our defense is good.
Our defensive line, I will agree, I believe has improved, but I'm still not drinking the Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid packets. Come on now.
It will. I really want to in the next touchdown Browns. In the next few, was that an elf in a brown suit in the end zone?
What is he doing? Look, what's he doing though?
I don't know, but there is. I didn't know. Is the Browns mascot an elf?
No, I don't think so.
It's just a random dude in a big elf head.
I don't know what's going on there, but
we're gonna watch we're gonna watch the replay to
because
see.
It was odd to see. It might have been Pinocchio, as a matter of fact. I don't know what it was.
He was right back there.
Like, how can you get more open than that? That was ridiculous.
Show the elf.
Well,
oh my God, they didn't show the elf
him.
again.
That's all right.
I'm pretty sure it was an elf, though. You Browns fans can, let us know what an elf is doing in the end zone. So
what's the score going to be then, Terry?
With this Texas, it was an elf, Rob. I saw it again. They're not going to score on us like they have in the past. It's a different. I don't think it's a different style of offense unless they see something. And they realize, hey, we have to play this, way. Matt Wells, he came from Utah State and had turned them around pretty well. So who knows? I mean, what they're going to do against us. But if they score with us, we got a problem.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. That's not going to happen.
Okay.
We're going to score on them, I think, probably at will. But here's the thing. How much further down the polls can we drop after setting records and scoring 100 points and just moving the ball at will on people and playing pretty good defense and still move down the polls? I don't get that, but
well, that's the AP poll. I know that's the one that everybody looks at, and people don't like the coaches polls sometimes because they say, well, the coaches don't really vote on it. But, in the one, I always look at the coaches poll.
Yeah, I'm not sweating it. I think it's funny that, we're breaking records and setting records and Jalen's, just tearing people up and we just keep falling down the polls.
Yeah. you shouldn't drop in the poll because of an off week. You know, in my humble opinion. But I'm not ashamed to say it. I know you're not either. The SEC, you know, they got three teams in the top 5. I mean, they got Alabama, Georgia, and LSU. And they're all 4-0. Give them credit for that. You know, Ohio State's 4-0. Everybody above us has played one more game. But I mean, if Oklahoma, you know, manhandles Tech and they don't move up, you know, that's
probably won't.
You know, but you know, it's early. It's going to all sort itself out. You know, people are going to beat people. You know, I still believe, you know, there is no way in a playoff system that you should have, you know, that's 4 teams, that you should ever have 2 teams from the same conference in it, period, ever. I don't think it's right. Don't think it's accurate. I don't care if anybody says, well, you think, you know, they can be the, you know, the best team. No, you know, if you don't win your conference, you shouldn't be there. So, and, you know, SEC, only one team can win the conference, and they should only let one team in. So,
right.
But, you know, right now we got the, you know, number 2, 3, and 4. And, you know, hey, give them credit, though. I mean, Alabama hasn't, you know, Georgia beat Notre Dame.
That was a pretty good game.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. That was a pretty good game. But I couldn't tell, Terry, if Georgia was good and Notre Dame was good, or if they're both just okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I really couldn't, you know, tell. I mean, I think Jake from State Farm is pretty good, but and Notre Dame may have a pretty good defense, but it's hard to say.
Yeah. And apparently USC is playing pretty good, so Notre Dame's got to play them at some point. So maybe that'll, and then, you know, the rest of their schedule when they play, you know,
Cupcake State.
Yeah, and Rowboat Tech and
who was it that you say Popcorn State? Who was that? Was that Bob?
I don't think it was. I think it was Pat Jones, wasn't it? Him that.
Pat Jones might have been.
Yeah, or you're right. It may have been Bob.
I can't remember.
You know, we're not playing East Popcorn State out there or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
But, you know, if I ever start a college, that's what I'm going to call them.
Right.
East Popcorn State Colonels.
But that's a pick. That is a pick, sir. There you go.
The Browns.
Look at the Browns playing some defense.
They are leading now 13-10 with 3:31 left. There was some news this weekend. You know, first off, let's touch on, did you hear about the Selman Brothers statue?
I heard about that,
Yeah.
and I am excited and here for it.
Yep. You know, it's a long time coming. You know, I mean, anybody who knows Oklahoma football, even the youngsters, the millennials now.
If they don't, they should.
Yeah, they know something about the Selman Brothers, and they should know more, and this is a way to get that to happen. But I'm looking here. I don't know where they're going to put do you know where they're going to put the Selman statue?
I would hope they would put it out in Heisman Park, to be honest with you.
Yeah. It says the Selman Brothers statue, there is no specific pose, just the 3 together, potentially standing. It'll feature dimensions of a 108-inch base, a height of, 288 inches. I wish they'd put stuff in feet. But
well, I'm kind of hoping that it's the same size as the Heisman statues.
yeah, and over by Heisman Park, maybe the entrance to Heisman Park or something like that.
You know what? Lucius definitely, or Leroy definitely deserves
to be recognized.
With those dudes, but I'd be just fine with that being in the Heisman Park.
Yeah. And I did not know this. This is something that has come out of this, is that the players with the Heisman statues, they get to pick their pose.
Yeah. He's got to pick one with a flag, doesn't he? Isn't that where you're going with that?
Yeah.
Got
to. Maybe not planning it, but maybe running with it. I don't know. I mean, but we do know that that Mayfields will come out in the spring of 2020. So I guess that's going to be, everybody's going to be at the spring game this year.
I bet that'll be it. Absolutely.
They're going to have to unveil that somewhere else and move it to Heisman Park because
it'll leak. There ain't no way people are keeping that under wraps.
Well, but I'm saying, everybody's going to want to be there for Baker's unveiling.
Yeah.
Heisman Park.
It's not big enough to house 50,000 people that are going to show up for that.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, here's an idea. I just had an idea. Put it on a trailer.
Oh, an epiphany.
And cover it and have it out on the field at the spring game and unveil it there. That way they can move it. That's, that way everybody can.
Or they can do it like they did Bob's, just drive it around Norman for like an hour.
With the cover off. Let everybody follow it, and it'll go out on the Twitter and all that other fun stuff.
He was apparently not happy about that.
And but it will be in the spring of 2020, and Kyler Murray is the spring of 2021. The Selman Brothers is set to be built in the fall of 2024, north of Heisman Park, is what it said. So
north of Heisman Park.
Yeah. So.
So what? Up like by the corner or something?
Yeah, probably up there. There's an area that used to be a tailgating area over there that they didn't allow tailgating this year on. So maybe that's the.
I'd rather be closer to the stadium, like where the reflection pool is there on the
north
right
side.
up there or something. If you're not going to put it in Heisman Park, at least put it up there.
Yeah, but it's going to be north of Heisman Park.
I'll do some digging around tomorrow. I'll see what I can find out.
Get your contacts up there at the university, and
they're going to be like, "No, we're not telling you."
If what they don't give you run information by you.
No, they should though.
Also, another thing that happened this weekend, Oklahoma. Kicker, Sutherland. Callum Sutherland.
He's from Ireland, right?
No, I did not know that.
Ireland or Scotland or one of the places where they grow up, drinking beer out of their bottle. Like it's beer in the sippy cup.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the kid's probably been drinking since he's 6 years old.
Yeah, and which is true. I mean, Germans and English,
right.
it's like iced tea.
Right.
They drink it with all their meals.
Yeah.
He was booked shortly before 5 a.m. Saturday.
So he got up early.
He got up early to drink.
Right.
He was drinking with breakfast.
Yeah, that's breakfast of champions.
Yeah. But 19 years old, public intoxication. At least he wasn't driving, so that's a good thing,
Well, definitely. So the question is he a U.S. citizen, which I'm assuming that he probably is.
It says he's from Keller, Texas. Rob.
I'm telling you, he's from one of those that ends in land, Ireland or Scotland.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Let me click on his name here.
Yeah, Google it on up. I'm telling you, he's from one of those places.
Oh, his I'm sorry. I just pulled up, clicked on his name on the website, and it pulls up first thing. It says, class, sophomore, height, 5'10", 180, hometown, Keller, Texas, status, questionable.
Oh, whoopsie. Well, you break the rules, you got to pay the consequence. You get kicked off the team.
Trying to see here. Let's look at his bio. Let's see.
Well, so maybe his parents are from there, and he was born in Keller, Texas. I don't know. I don't know, but it definitely is a situation where, I'm not going to defend him. I don't know. He's 19. He should be following the laws of this land, but
because you and I followed him when we were.
Well, of course we did.
When we were 19.
Still do. Yeah.
But it happens. I'm not.
Yeah.
It's not I'm not bent out of shape over it.
Where was he at? Because I'm like 5 a.m. You should have been on the way home or something.
Yeah, I mean,
It doesn't say if they were out or is he just like walking around outside at 5 a.m. just intoxicated.
it was arrested for public intoxication. Cleveland County sheriffs in Norman, Oklahoma, indicate the 19-year-old was booked shortly before 5 a.m. Saturday, and he was released 3 hours later. So it doesn't say the details.
So
online jail records didn't list details of anybody representing any fifth-ranked Sooners off Saturday. Messages left with officials in the Norman Police Department had not been returned. So,
how would you like to be that kid? You get to call Lincoln Riley and say, "Oh."
I wonder if there's some. I'm sure there is somebody on staff that they're supposed to call if they get
Probably. I bet it's not Lincoln.
I bet it's not Lincoln. But maybe it's the strength and conditioning coach. What's in?
Yeah, you might as well call him because you're going to be running.
Yeah, that's the best punishment for somebody who's been drinking is to make them work the next day and work out, because there's nothing worse than sweating beer
right
out of your pores.
Well, yeah, you're going to throw up a couple of times.
Yeah. But
might as well get ready for that.
Yeah. But also, again, being out of pocket for so much this weekend, apparently Trajan Bridges is being looked at in the secondary.
Yes, heard that.
I'm sitting here reading James Hill's report on it, that it's not that they've moved him, but they're giving him opportunities. He was outstanding. He's been outstanding on special teams, which is, he's making good, solid tackles throughout the season. They're not giving up on him, but he was a highly touted corner. Nobody really obviously recruited him as a corner and nickelback, but everybody said he could play it.
Well, I heard Teddy Lehman say that he would be a game changer on the other side of the ball.
Yeah.
So
I mean, here's the big point. He's 6'1". I mean, he would be, I think, the tallest defensive back we have.
No, don't we have a couple freshmen that are bigger than that?
I don't know. I know that we're small back there, but he was a 5-star recruiter out of Carrollton. Nobody recruited him to play secondary, but every coach in the country knew if things didn't work out at receiver, that he would be a good DB on the defensive side of the ball. So we'll see. I mean, it may, how the big time athletes are like that.
There's no doubt that he's a big time athlete. He can probably play both sides of the ball really easily.
He's probably sitting here going, "I want to play." Maybe I want to play. I want to play now. Put me over there. I can play better than him. If that's the case, put him on the defense.
Yeah, let's go.
It gives everybody more of a reason to.
He'll be back on the offensive side of the ball next year, though.
You think so?
Oh yeah. When
what
CD leaves,
what if he comes in and gets 5 interceptions?
Well, I mean,
this year,
I think the at the next level, the big money is at receiver and not corner.
Yeah, well,
unless
true.
You're Revis Island or whatever.
Revis Island, is that somebody I should know their name?
Yeah, where did he play? Something Revis. He was a pro. Come on, they called him Revis Island. Seriously, Terry, come on.
I don't know who
you're a bigger pro football fan than I am.
I've never heard that name in my life.
That's not true. That is definitely.
Are you
going to
try to Google this?
I'm gonna Google it.
Oh God!
No, I'm gonna ask Siri. Siri, who is Revis Island?
Let's see what Siri has to.
Nicaragua. Oh, Daryl Revis. Here we go. Daryl Shavar Revis. Yep.
Okay.
And you've never heard of Revis Island? He was that good at cornerback. They said.
When did he play?
He was born in '85, so. Spent the majority of his career with the Jets in the National Football League. Played at Pittsburgh.
Really?
No, college at Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yep, 2007 NFL Draft.
Which is
He was
another.
a 14th overall pick. Darrell Revis. I cannot believe you don't know who that is.
Well, you didn't say Daryl Revis. You said Revis Island.
Well, yeah. I didn't even know his first name. I knew it. I swear.
But
Career history: played for the Jets, played for the Bucks, played for the Patriots, played for the Jets again,
Good
played
Lord.
for the Chiefs. Super Bowl champion, 7-time Pro Bowler, 4-time first team All Pro. Come on.
now I know who you're talking about. But
Okay.
did you brought up Pitt? Did you see Pitt knocked off UCF?
UCF, shut 'em up.
Self-proclaiming national champion UCF has been beaten again.
You know, I like it and I hate it because of
Josh.
Joshua Hypewell.
Yeah.
But
My buddy Mike, we were talking about it this morning. He said somebody needs to put Josh on Jenny Craig.
is he married? I mean, she might not like that. I don't know. I'm just saying.
And Jenny Craig, it's like Weight Watchers.
Oh, well, you should have just said Weight Watchers.
Yeah. Now Weight Watchers is WW or Two Dubs or something like that because they got Oprah as their spokesperson now,
boy.
and now it's changed to how was your WW experience? But yeah, Josh has he's hammed it up a little bit over the.
He's gained a pound or
Yeah.
two.
But,
That happens when you get a big nice office and.
yeah, and all that money, you can eat all the pizza
Wonder
you
what
want.
they're paying him.
I don't know.
Are you going to Google it up?
I'm going
Do we
to
have
Google
time
that
for
up. We have time. Rob, it's our show. We can do whatever we want.
I
so.
bet they're paying him good though, because I mean, he's kind of changed everything there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So,
Josh Heupel's salary at UCF.
I'm going to guess he's making $2.7 million a year.
Josh Heupel remains undefeated in his first season. Oh, good Lord.
The Rams just ran a reverse like in high school. It was nice. But the Browns thwarted their touchdown attempt. But, it's first and goal now, so they probably will score. But oh, Josh, you're Googling like I am over there. What's up?
Well, the first one that it took me to
was their record?
Yeah, UCF head coach Josh Heupel will be paid $1.7 million annually over 5 years, per his memorandum of understanding.
Gosh, how will he ever live on that?
Yeah, really, the same salary amount that Scott Frost was paid during his first year as the Knights coach. He could receive
probably got some bonuses in there.
Yeah, $250,000 a year bonuses vested in the program's growth. Salary pool will be $2.5 million. His buyout will be $10 million if he leaves prior to the bowl game in 2020.
Wow.
I would just quit.
Wow. Well, I mean, think about that bonus. Oh, here's a check for $250,000 bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah. How will I ever make do on that?
Really, I mean, and that was 2000. But he got a contract extension last year, so I'm trying to find. The Orlando Sentinel. Really?
Oh man, flag on the Rams.
I thought there's too many dang advertisements on everything. Trying to soften. This came out. When did this come out? In December 2018. Oh my gosh. First year coach of building the Knights historic. Expectation rewarded. Financial terms of agreement were not immediately released, but he did get we know he's making at least $1.7 million. But seriously, I mean, if your contract buyout was $10 million, would you not?
Fire me.
Yeah, fire me today.
Listen, I'm walking into the president's office and I'm all up in on him. Fire me, I dare you.
Or call division, a smaller NAIA school and say, hey, I'll come and coach for a year for free if you'll hire me right now. And they they give him a $10 million buyout.
I mean, how long is it before a big school goes after Josh?
Well, if he keeps doing well down there,
how long has he got to do?
He's got to keep it up. I mean, Scott Frost built it. I mean, he did well. They lost their bowl game, and now he's lost a game. This is this first regular season game they've lost in 2 years.
Yeah.
And every fan in every UCF, all 20 of them, were screaming and hollering that they needed to be national champions. They needed to be in all this stuff. He's got he can't lose 2 or 3 games a year and go anywhere.
Well, no, but they're better. They're still good. They're still good.
Yeah, they're still good,
and they're going to win that conference probably.
Yeah,
but we'll see. But I think somebody offers him a job. But here's he's turned it into a pretty good job, or I guess Scott Frost did.
Mm-hmm.
Is it better than Kansas?
Everything. Shoveling manure at the frickin' stockyards is better than Kansas. I mean,
so UCF is a better job than Kansas?
I think so. I mean, it's going to be harder to win at Kansas. You're not going to be able to build a program up.
At least in Florida, you can.
Yeah, you can recruit.
Say,
you can
the beach is right over there.
Yeah, you can build it. You can build it up and get a job. I mean, look at the people that have come to Kansas. That the former Nebraska quarterback that was tearing it up at Buffalo University. You know who I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
And came into Kansas, and everybody's like, hey, he's going to bring, and just
didn't do well.
Yeah.
Didn't do well. But, it's Kansas, so, yeah. You're right. UCF is probably a better job than Kansas, but, that's...
Yeah, and UCF dropped 22 in the AP and 23 in the coaches. They both dropped 7, they dropped 7 spots.
But they stayed in the top 25?
Yeah.
Is Pitt in the top 25?
No. Nope.
I bet they're mad, huh?
Yeah. But A&M still, and people, okay, everybody out there who, this is Sooner fans, we know you all agree with this, but those idiots out there who said there is no bias for the SEC.
Oh, come on.
They are the only 2-loss team in the top 25, and they're at number 23. For crying out loud.
They're terrible. I don't get that at all. They're just trying to get as many SEC teams in that.
To keep
ranked.
to keep the aura of keeping Georgia and LSU and Alabama in it. Let's see, A&M is 23rd. Let's see,
Florida. It's a travesty that they're ranked so high.
Yeah. The next one is Florida. They're ranked 9th.
I'm surprised they're not trying to get Vanderbilt in there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, A&M. You Aggies out there who have been screaming and hollering at how great you are. Yeah, you've been beat twice, and you're still in the top 25. Notre Dame, Florida is number 9. Auburn is number 7. And then LSU, Georgia, and Alabama. So Big 12 has Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas State.
Is that it?
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
yeah. Obviously the SEC is good, no doubt about it. They're really top heavy though, but we'll see. I don't know. Where does Auburn sit if they're in the Big 12? Are they middle of the pack? Are they the best team in the Big 12?
They're not the best team in the Big 12. They would, and I wouldn't say middle of the pack. Auburn would probably be up there with Oklahoma and Texas. I mean, they just the fan base itself, but Vanderbilt.
They're terrible.
Who are some of the other SEC?
Arkansas. Yeah, they're bad.
Yeah, just because, but we as Oklahoma fans and everything, as much as we love dominating, the Big 12 was so much fun in the early 2000s.
Oh,
when
yeah.
It was Oklahoma, Texas, A&M, Nebraska. I mean, there was it was a fist fight every Saturday.
Yep.
And you lost 3 games in the Big 12. That wasn't a bad season. I mean, because you were fighting the best teams in the country for a while.
And it's just like in the SEC. They're cannibalizing each other.
Yeah.
That's why they're getting them so high ranked up in there, so they can possibly get 2 SEC teams into the playoff, which I don't necessarily agree with, but it is what it is.
Should never be 2 teams from the same conference in the playoffs.
No,
ever.
I would be a fan of it if, let's just say, the other conferences, like if Ohio State really was bad and they win the Big Ten with 2 or 3 losses, and if Georgia's only losses to Alabama, then there's a pretty good case there for that, but.
Not in regular football. Every other football, when you lose, you're done.
So you'd rather see a 2 or a 3 loss Ohio State playing?
If you win, I would rather than redo everything and say conference champions go into the playoffs. That's what I would rather do.
Okay.
I mean, because it's the only fair way to do it.
I mean,
there's
I guess
times
that's a relative.
There's times in high school, every other level of football does it, but there's times in the NFL, that the best teams maybe aren't in there, but they won their division, they won their conference, they're the ones that get to go into the playoffs. That's why, Bob Stoops for years was like, our number one job is to win the Big 12.
Yeah.
That's how it should be in every our number one job is to win our conference to move us into position for a championship.
Yep.
And you know what? SEC, cannibalizes themselves. That's their own fault.
Yeah.
We used to talk about it, when the Big 12 was the only school with a title game, that we were making it unfair for ourselves. I mean, you lose. Nobody else was playing a title game.
Right.
Oklahoma had to play an extra game. You lose that, you knocked yourself out
for
of
no
the
reason at all, right?
Yeah, so for a game that didn't have to be played.
Mm-hmm.
So, they just, everybody's got a conference championship now, and that should be the entry game into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And, you win that conference game, then you get seeded, and away we go.
Yeah.
And the whole world would be a better place.
Well, as long as you go into it understanding that you may not have the best 2 teams in the playoff.
Right.
So,
but one of those, one of the best teams got knocked out of their conference. So the team that is there was the better team in that conference. So, that's just how I see it. You win a conference, you go there.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Don't argue with me, Rob.
I'm not.
But anyway, that's all we can think of to talk about after the off week. We'll have more on the Sooners Texas Tech game later on this week, and figure out how many points the Sooners are going to rack up on that massive Texas Tech Red Raider defense. So at least they don't have to go down there and get tortillas thrown at them. So.
Right.
But that's our podcast, guys. See you next time. Boober Rob.
Boober Terry.
Thanks for listening to the Sooner Football Fans Podcast. Sooner Football Fans Podcast is hosted by Rob Nixon, Terry Long, and occasionally Caleb Long. It is produced at the beautiful Podcast Palace in Norman, Oklahoma. Follow us on Twitter at SoonerFBFans and like our Facebook page at Facebook.com/Sooner Football Fans, and visit our website at www.SoonerFootballFans.com to read our blogs and keep up with our tailgating activities. Boomer Sooner, everyone.